Michael Simons, Simons, and I'm the Chief Prosecutor with our Homicide Division.
And what happened today in court?
We had a preliminary court appearance for Mr. Lopez. The court heard probable cause, and we set a date for a proof evident hearing on August 20th.
August 20th or 19th?
I believe it was the 20th.
And
Said 19th. That was a date that was a problem with the court, so I think we switched it to the 20th. On the morning of June 27th, which is a Friday, around 6 o'clock in the morning, the complainants were discovered in the walking path of a park located here in Harris County. They were deceased. They had gunshot wounds to their backs, several shell casings on the scene. Officers were able to observe some surveillance video from the area where they identified a white four-door sedan as being involved in the incident. Based on that and some links between the shell casings and some other cases, they were able to develop a suspect vehicle as a 2009 white Honda Accord, and they were able to locate that vehicle on Monday, June 30th. The defendant was driving the vehicle. He had a firearm in the vehicle. He was arrested for a traffic violation. He was brought to 1200 Travis, where he was interviewed and confessed to the murders.
his attorney says, little to no criminal history. Any idea why these men may have been targeted?
No.
The gun they found in his car does the same as the casings that they found at the site.
Yes, he admitted that the gun that he was arrested with was the gun he used during the murder.
I know Brazoria County is a deadly conduct, I think, case tied to the same weapon. Do you know anything about the other case in Houston?
I don't know anything about the other cases. They're still being investigated. I don't have any more information about those cases at this time.
At the scene, there was talk about gangs and gang initiation and stuff. Anything to that?
Not that I know of at this time. We don't really know what motive caused these murders. All we know is that he's confessed to being the one who did it.
From your perspective, you may not be able to speak on this. The family says they don't know who this young man is. Is there any potential link between them from your perspective?
There's no indication of any kind of link between them at this time. We don't know what the cause was for these murders.
As somebody who prosecutes homicides, what do you think of just two men, 60s, 70s, walking in a park, apparently randomly shot? I mean, that's pretty shocking.
It's everybody's worst fear. These were two gentlemen who had lived most of their lives in peace. They were doing what they did reportedly every morning, which was meet up and go for a walk. And it's extremely sad that they were gunned down doing their normal everyday activities. It's very sad. Our hearts go out to the families. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that they receive justice.
You guys plan to argue that his bail bond should be completely denied. What goes into preparing for that hearing? That's fine.
We're going to be working with law enforcement to get some of the evidence that they've already collected, mainly his statement. We'll present that to the court and argue that there is clear and convincing evidence that he should be held without bond for the remainder of this case.
There was a talk about being two assailants. Did he act alone, or was there somebody else in it?
I don't have any information on another assailant. Everything we know at this time is that he's the only one.
Do you know if the surveillance cameras that caught the vehicle were flocked cameras or some other sort of?
I believe there were some home surveillance cameras that caught the vehicle. I don't know about flock cameras in the area.
And he's charged right now with?
He's charged with capital murder.
That's because there were two victims, right?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
I am Charles Lopez, attorney.
Tell us what happened in court today, please.
Today was just a preliminary hearing. The judge listened to probable cause. We didn't address the bond. The state requested a proof evident hearing, which they can do under the Texas Constitution. So our case is reset for August 19th to have a hearing to determine the bond, if Mr. Lopez will have a bond or not.
Can you explain, in Texas law, the capital murder charge doesn't necessarily entitle you to the bond, right?
Correct. Under the state constitution, a defendant is not entitled to a bond, and so under the state constitution, the district attorney can request a proof evident hearing to determine whether the defendant should get a bond or not. And that's what we're having August 19th.
We've seen defendants come out during these hearings before. Why didn't Mr. Lopez come out today?
We're going to have a hearing August 19th, and I think the judge determined that we'll do it at that. That's up to the court.
Was he acting erratically in the back?
Not at all.
There was
No.
some commotion.
What you heard had nothing to do with it. There was another defendant back there that had some mental health issues. It wasn't him at all.
Are you a court-appointed attorney?
Correct.
Have you been able to meet with your client? Yeah.
I've met with him briefly, and I'll be visiting with him at the jail.
Has he said anything about, they said he confessed, has he said anything about motive or?
Well, I'll say this: anything that he said is attorney-client privilege, and I can't speak about that.
Is he being cooperative? You guys will be
I'll tell you, Mr. Lopez is 24 years old. He's got ties to the community. He has a wife and kids, a mother and siblings. He's worked at Amazon, so he's little to no criminal history, and he doesn't present as somebody charged with a case like this.
Prosecutors said that the weapon used in this crime was connected to 2 other shootings, one in Missouri, one in Houston. Do you know anything about those cases? Have prosecutors told you anything about that?
No, I don't. I'll be receiving the discovery under the rules of evidence. The state's required to turn over discovery, which they'll do, and I'll be able to investigate that. But at this time, I don't have a whole lot of information.
I know there's no bond, right?
There's no bond. Like I said, we have a hearing August 19th, and that's when the judge will determine whether he gets a bond or not.
Other crime victims are lost in these moments, and we're here to help them. We have scheduled a vigil without knowing that the perpetrator would be caught as fast as he was. And praise to HPD, detectives, and the police officers, everybody that worked together to bring this suspect into custody. However, the vigil is scheduled, and we hope to have a good turnout to support the family in this difficult time. The most vulnerable members of our community are children and the elderly. These individuals were completely innocent on their morning walk. And why were they there? Trying to stay healthy to prolong their lives. And their lives were cut short by a coward who right now sits in the Harris County Jail without bond. And that's where we want to keep him. We will be back here in August to ensure that continues to happen, that he sits in jail for the remainder of the court process, which could take 3 to 4 years. So one of the families does need help to lay their father to rest, because who is really prepared and has money to lay down their loved one to rest? It is so expensive. So I'm urging everybody, if they can, donate to the GoFundMe. If you can't, please just keep these families in your prayers. We thank the whole city of Houston. We live in a wonderful city with wonderful people, and unfortunately there are monsters amongst us, and this is one of them. And I am grateful, and we will sleep good tonight knowing that he is in custody. Thank you so much.
Where and when will the vigil be?
The vigil will be held tonight at Wild Heather Park, and it is at 14900 White Heather Drive in Houston, Texas, and the whole community is welcome to come out. We thank you guys so much. These are 2 innocent victims with 2 wonderful families that didn't deserve this. And as a community, I want to rally around them with love and let them know that, hey, even in this dark times, there's great people out here that are going to make sure that justice is done.